You're welcome back to Out the Shadows of Torino. Last season we lost back-to-back finals, the Coppa Italia to Milan and the Europa League to Tottenham. Let's get straight into season 4 where hopefully we can finally win something. As always, let's start by going through the squad. So in net we've got Della, who we've brought in from Cremonese for 12 million. As a backup for Della, we still have this guy. At right centre-back, we still have Vitic, who did really well for us last season. In the middle, we've still got Sakati, who again did quite well for us last season. And our left-side centre-back, who's been here for a few years now, is still going to be Ozcan. As a backup centre-back option, we've brought in Pellegrino from Milan for 12 million. We've also got Lenny Yoro, who we've brought in from United on loan again. And we've still got this Austrian guy who we bought last January. At right wing back, we're going to be keeping with Santos, who we bought from Napoli last January. And as his backup right wing back for this season, we have Abu Bakar, who we bought in January and sent him on loan to Como. And we've actually managed to bring Lazaro back in on loan from Lazio after we sold him only last January for 6 million. Now at left wing back, we brought in Luis Enrique. So currently can't play left wing back. He's kind of a right winger. We've also brought in Garcia, who's going to be our backup left wing back, but for the start of the season while we're still training Henrique. He's going to be our main left wing back, so we brought him in from Bologna for 8 million. The volante position, we're going to be keeping Fabian. And as our first choice ball-winning midfielder, we're going to keep with Bamba. As a midfield backup, we've got Pasalic still, who we brought in last January. We, of course, have still got Di Toro, who was on loan at Como last season. So he's someone who came through our youth academy in the first season. He got the potential to be a wonder kid. We're going to have him as a backup ball-winning midfielder. And as another backup in midfield, someone who's probably not going to play too many games, on loan from Fiorentina, is Bianco. So the light that I used to film has just gone out, but I'm just going to continue for the squad. So the light's gone out, but you can't see my face as good. You're not missing too much. I might get a few more views now that the light's out. But as our main advanced playmaker, we're going to be keeping Profundi for this season. I was pretty happy about this. We brought in Hannibal from Burnley, just completely free, ran his contract down there. We've managed to get him in to come and be a squad player, so he's going to be our backup advanced playmaker. I've also brought in Volpato on loan from Sassuolo. Up top, we're going to be keeping Tammy Abraham. And this season, replacing Colombo up front with Tammy Abraham, we've got Setkovic. We brought him in for 2.1 million, so very cheap. We've also got Dom Solanke on loan from Tottenham. We've got Della, who again is on loan from Sassuolo. Brought Pio Esposito back in on loan from Man City. Quite embarrassingly, I messed up on the non-EU rule. This was always going to happen. I was never going to make it the whole way through the save without messing up with this. I brought in Caio George for 18 million. We brought him in. I thought if I sold a non-EU player, I'd be able to register him. I sold a non-EU player and then just nothing happened. It still says I can't register him, so I've had to load him out. So this season he'll be at Atletico Madrid. So this poor guy that I bought for 1.9 million a few years ago never got to play a game for us because of the Caio George situation. I sold him to Udinese thinking that would let me register Caio George, but it just didn't happen. So I've sold him for 1 million. We bought him for 1.9 million, so I've lost a bit of money. We've sold Abdul Mohammed, who we brought in for free last year, and we sold him for 17 million. We've also sold our starting left wing back from last season, Bradley Locko. We've sold him for 14.5 million. Again, we bought him for 5 million last year, so a lot of profit. We've sold Kajusti to Atalanta for only 1.6 million, so terrible business really for us, but it just never got going. We've also got rid of Ekalenkamp, who I bought, I think, 2 seasons ago. He was out on loan last season, but we've sold him to a club in Saudi for 3.8 million. Sean Longstaff, who we brought in for free midway through last season, we've sent him out on loan to Metz. One of the biggest departures for this season was Ricky, who we sold for 33 million to Al Nassr. We've also sold Joaquin Correa to Fiorentina for 4.3 million. Again, we got him for free, so that's a little bit of profit for someone who's 32 anyway. Josef Naipan, who we brought in last season, I wasn't a massive fan of, so I've just sent him out on loan to Lazio for this season. And then the biggest departure, not really someone I wanted to lose, but it was kicking off all summer, was Colombo. Sold him to Al Nassr for 22.5 million. Not too long ago, we bought him from Milan for 8.5 million. So again, just a nice bit of profit. Might have noticed, but we have actually started the season. So on the first game of the season, we were playing Palermo away and we won 2-0. The second game of the season was a good win against Roma, 2-1 at home. We usually get the better of Roma, to be fair. We then beat Sassuolo 3-1, and the last game we played up to now was a 1-0 loss away at Inter. After 4 games, we're not looking too bad. We're second in the league. We've played 4, won 3 and lost 1. So we're not looking too bad. We are second in the league. Let's just have a look. So season preview, we're predicted to finish 6th, so we're getting a little bit more respect now. We do actually have 2 players in the Media Dream 11 as well. So we've got Bamba, but he's at centre-back. We play him as ball-winning midfielder. And then Hannibal. The media have also predicted us to finish 6th as well. So we jump into just over halfway through the season. Like last season, we've been very up and down, getting some great wins and losing against some poor teams. We've lost to Fiorentina, we've lost to Milan, obviously that's fair enough. Lost to Lecce is a disappointment, a draw against Parma, but we're picking up some good wins as well. Well, in the league at this point, we are 2nd. We're 6 points behind Milan in 1st, but they've got 2 games in hand, so it's not looking likely for league this year. Tammy's been amazing. He's statistically the best player in the league. He's getting the most goals in the league. So we are looking good in the league, but it's probably just a bit too far. In the Super Cup this season, we lost to Inter. So because we came 2nd in the Coppa Italia, we played the champions Inter, champions of the Scudetto, and we lost 2-1. We didn't get very far in the Coppa Italia either after getting to the final last season. We played Udinese, who are currently in the 2nd tier on this game as well. But we played Udinese. We went a goal down, went 2-1 up in the 91st minute, and then we conceded the 93rd. Then it goes to penalties, and we're never going to win on penalties. Our keepers are absolutely shocking at penalties. So we are out of the Coppa Italia. We are still in the Champions League as well, going through to a playoff. I don't know if it was a possibility on the final game, but we were actually in the top 8 for quite a little while, and then we just dropped out. But still finishing 12th with our 2nd string teams, definitely good enough. With the games, we beat Barca again, we beat Red Bull Salzburg, beat Young Boys, beat Borussia Dortmund, drew with Galatasaray at home, a bit disappointing. And then we lost to Milan, Liverpool and Porto, which, I mean, with our 2nd string team, it's not too bad. And in the Champions League playoff, we'll be coming up against Lille. We've not had too busy of a January, but one thing that did happen that I was definitely not happy with at all was Vitic going to Atletico Madrid for 30 million. And then we've also sold Abu Bakar for 13 million, so it's profit when we only bought him like a year ago. But didn't want him to go, but it was again kicking off about wanting to go to Arsenal, so I just got him gone. And again, we've not brought in too many players in January this year, but we brought in João Neves on loan from PSG. Sebastian Haller is a backup striker from Dortmund. And then we have bought a Mexican wonder kid from Chivas for 7.5 million, Jesus Rivas. So I think he's going to be pretty decent. I'm going to probably play him next season as a deep line forward. And probably have him playing a lot of games and Tammy playing a lot of games, kind of interchanging. Jump forward again, and it's now May time, and we've got just 1 game left of the season. So in Serie A, we've been pretty decent this year. We had a bad patch here, but then after that Fiorentina game, we've just been on a great run, only losing to Milan, only drawing with Napoli. So we've went on a good run to end the season. Well, it means that with a game to go, we are going to finish 2nd. So we can't catch Milan, they're miles ahead. We're going to finish 2nd. So it's not too great, but with it's going to be the highest we've finished, even though we've actually got less points than we had before. Tammy's the top scorer in Serie A. He's been amazing this year, but 2nd's not too bad, still that improvement. And obviously we're still in the Champions League, so at this time when I played Lille in the first leg, we were still kind of in the title race. So I beat him the first leg away at Lille, and it was 0-0. In the second leg, back at our place, we got a 3-2 win, so we're through to round 16, where we'll play Man City. At home in Europe, we are amazing. We're one of the best teams when we're playing at home in the Champions League or in the Europa League. We've played Man City at home, we went a goal down. At half time, I changed things, I just went super attacking, because I know if we were going to do anything in this tie, we needed to do it at home. We get a 3-1 win, so it's 2-goal cushion that we can take with us to the Etihad to try and get through to a quarter-final. But ultimately, Man City were just too good. We do get battered 4-1 at the Etihad. They scored 2 late goals to send us out, so we are out at the Etihad. So as you've seen as well, Tammy's been the main man, 30 goals and 7 assists in 37 games, well 41 in total. So Tammy's been amazing this year. We've also had Thiago Santos and Luis Enrique, so left wing back, right wing back have been great for us this year. Fabian's been good, he's good every year. Bamba's been good. Solanke and Hannibal have been really good for us in Europe as well. So we're starting to get a decent team, but that's still only really 5 or 6 good performers this year. Profundi's not been at his best. Setkovic has been okay in his first season. But to really push on and get the title, we need more people to step up and be having good performances. So going out of the Champions League does mean that the last game of the season against Monza, we're not really playing for anything. We do usually do pretty good against Monza. They got one over on us earlier on this season, but we're usually pretty good against them. So here we are then, last game of the season, playing Monza. As I say, we usually do pretty good against them. Back to live comps that don't really mean too much. So obviously last season we had the 2 finals. So we've dropped off a little bit, but it's still been okay. Oh, we've got an injury almost immediately. Luis Enrique, probably, Fran Garcia, put him in. There we go. But yeah, as I say, not too much too interesting this season. Hopefully we can push on again next season coming forward here though. But I bought that Rivas, a wonder kid. Can't register him until next season. I think he should automatically register. But my plan is to play Tammy next season as advanced forward in some games, and then have that Rivas as a deep line forward in some games. But hopefully next season we can kick on, try and finally get his first trophy so we can stop being, the Italian Tottenham. Abraham Steele's it here. Go on, Neves. Neves has been pretty good on loan from PSG. Fabian's always good since we bought him from Bologna. Santos, Tammy always does that. So I've also been thinking about switching up the tactic a bit next season. So Fabian's naturally like a box-to-box midfielder. So I've been thinking, especially for the tactic with Rivas, where we have a deep line forward, I'm thinking about putting Fabian as a box-to-box midfielder instead of Volante. Just go a bit more attacking next season. So just starting the second half, we're 1-0 up still. Profundi got a bit of a knock, so Volpato's come on. They've got a bit of a chance. We've also brought Pasalic in for Fabian, coming forward again here though. Pasalic's been very good since we got him from Atalanta for dirt cheap, but he's been very good every time I play him. They're coming forward here though. Oh dear. Ooh. Yeah, massive thanks to anyone who is watching this series. This episode might not be as good as usual, just because I've tried to rush through it just to get it done. It's been a bit of a nightmare finding time to record it, but I'm just trying to blast through recording it so I can finally get to playing season 5. I'll try and get this posted hopefully Tuesday, and then next episode maybe like Thursday. Probably that's pushing it though, so probably like Friday. But they're coming forward now. They keep getting highlights, to be fair, on them. Well done, Santos. Pasalic. They're coming forward again here. They're coming forward. That's a good chance. And very lucky again. So it's still 1-0 with 15 minutes left. Hopefully we can just see this out. So no trophy again this season. Obviously, if you're a Zealand, you've probably won about 5 by now. But as I say, I've not won out on Football Manager before. It's only recently I've started being decent. So it's been a good start to save still for me. I think it was 3rd season 1, then 5th, 3rd again, now 2nd. So we're going in the right way now. I just really want to get first trophy. Still never won anything. They're coming back. They probably had the best of the second half, to be fair. That's a defensive mistake. It's been another okay season. We come 2nd, but obviously we've dropped off a bit from last season in terms of competing for trophies. We've not got to 20 finals apart from the Super Cup. But we finished 2nd. It's been a bit of a weird season because it's been disappointing, but it's been quite fun to play, to be fair. Fiorentina and Sassuolo come in 3rd and 4th. A lot of the big boys have dropped off. Which I wanted to make a real push for the title next season, but it's probably going to be that bit harder just because of how many big boys have fell off. So you've got Juventus, Lazio, Roma and Atalanta. None of them are in Europe next season, while we're going to be in the Champions League. So it could be pretty hard next season. Well, this season Tammy's been scoring goals for fun. He's also at the end of the year been picking awards up for fun. He gets the Serie A Player of the Year, the MVP. I don't really know how those differ. He also wins a Paolo Rossi award as well. So he's got 3 awards for the 30 goals he's scored this year. But again, a massive thanks if you have watched this video. If you've watched all the way to the end, it'd be massive if you just leave a thumbs up. It's been a bit of a nightmare to get this video filmed, to be fair. I've not really found much time to do it. So I do apologise if this video has been a bit, seemed a bit rushed. I've just had to try and cram it in so I can actually start posting again. But I'll try and get this posted out on Tuesday. And then I'll try and get episode 5 posted as soon as I can.